our our annual gift.
Oh, okay.
So, so that takes a while. There's a process that goes through that. So, and then we added 2 new board members, which is Dr. Roa Gosain, who is head of the
Welcome to the January 23rd meeting of the Rotary Club of Jamestown. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, singing the national anthem, and repeating the 4-way test. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Oh, say, five and ones. What's the Let's repeat the 4-way test. The things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Our invocation today is by Becky Robbins.
Hello, everybody. Let us pray. Dear Lord, today we remember and give thanks for your servant, Martin Luther King Jr. His words moved a nation toward justice and equity. His witness called forth the best of us, casting a vision of unity and reconciliation that we have yet to achieve. We know that remembering such leaders is not enough, and so we ask for the wisdom and strength to emulate their bravery, tenacity, and willingness to stop at nothing to speak truth to power. As we see hatred, the explosion of division and bigotry, we ask you to break through our tribal loyalties, knit us together as one humanity, give us the ability to speak in each other's languages until all of us dream your dreams, see your visions, speak your words, and not only understand each other, but long to be with one another. Amen.
Thank you, Becky. Please welcome President-elect Ruth Lundeen to announce visiting Rotarians and guests. And open up.
Thank you, John. Besides Yoa, is there any other visiting Rotarians or guests? Won't see any, but wow, what a great crowd.
Thank you, Ruth. Okay, announcements. I do have some unfortunate news. Gail Donis' boyfriend passed away unexpectedly last week, so please keep Gail in your prayers, everybody. January 26th, we have a literacy Zoom meeting at 12 o'clock. And any additional announcements from committee chairs?
Okay, yes, thank you. So the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee will be meeting February 7th, which isn't that far away, at noon at CRCF or via Zoom. So we welcome anybody participating in that. It's last minute, but you are still very welcome. There is a Area 16 meeting tonight at the Stockton Hotel at 5:15 to 7:15. It's $10 for hors d'oeuvres and cash bar. We're getting to know Rotarians from other clubs here in Chautauqua County. And so the purpose is to talk with past Governor Melissa and Membership Chair Michelle about increasing club membership, Rotary satellite and specialty clubs, Rotaract clubs, public image, best practices, and Area 16 joint projects. So if you are interested in finding out what else is going on in Chautauqua County, 5:15 today at Stockton, the hotel, weather should be good to get there. So. So I brought on my computer, I'm able to sign people up for coldest night of the year, which is February 25th, either to walk or to donate. The money actually goes through the coldest night of the year organization, not through the YW itself. I did send out a club runner, which has the links on it. So please participate in that. We'd like to see a wonderful team Rotary of at least 9 or 10 walkers. And our goal for fundraising is $1,000. Through this effort, the YW is hoping to raise $20,000. So I think we could do a great job to help them out. So either look through your club runner or else get with me after the meeting and we'll get you signed up one way or the other. Yes. Right now we have 5 walkers. We have, I think we have $100 in there. So, yeah. So people can sign up to walk and then others may donate for their so they have goals that we're trying to reach. So I'm trying to get $250 in donations. You can either sign up to help me or you can sign up just for the club Rotary in general. But all that is on the website. And if you're not a website person, see me, and because I have all the instruction as team leader of how to do things either by check or by cash. I wanted to report a little bit about the Rotary Club of Jamestown Community Service Fund meeting we just had. Some of you may remember, although it was almost a year ago, that we heard a update from a Ugandan school for the orphans, and they had gotten a foundation grant to build a building and with 3 rooms for their school. They are now, she was talking about the second phase of that building project, which is to build 4 more foundations and 1 more building. The vision committee voted to approve $1,000 toward that effort. And it was also then supported by the board and by the Community Service Fund. So we will be providing them with an additional $1,000 to help them build more classrooms for this school in Uganda. And there's a Rotary Club on the ground in Uganda that supports it and oversees the funds. So it's a wonderful program by the St. Catherine's Rotary Club, and we will support it. Also, the Robert H. Jackson Center asked us to support the Battle of the Books again this year. Some of our Rotarians went to last year's Battle of the Books and were very impressed by it, how much the students, how well they knew the books that they read, and they wore costumes, and it was a great team effort and a wonderful opportunity for our high school students. Robert H. Jackson Center has expanded that program this year and asked for our support. And so once again, the Vision Committee supported a grant of $1,700 to fund the books that go to the schools and also the promotional materials. And your board and the Community Service Fund both supported that. So we will be sending $1,700 to the Robert H. Jackson Center. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, the question was what grades, and it is middle school. So, and it is an expanded program this year. So,
It's the same. Yeah, it was.
I thought, okay. So, all right, that's me.
Thank you, Ruth.
Just a real quick update for the vocational committee. I spoke to Sheila McIntyre over at Jamestown High School. They actually decided not to go forward with it this spring. She just felt like her class couldn't do it. So we'll try again in the fall.
Thanks for the update, Max. Please get your tickets ready as we welcome Tori Ergang for today's 50-50.
John, I have a youth exchange announcement too, if that's
Oh,
okay.
yeah, go ahead, Sherry.
I'm sorry, I'm just waving my hand. First of all, thank you. Chris sent out a note to the club to keep Yoa busy this week while he's off school, and we had great response. Yoa's excited about those of you that he's gonna meet up with and do some things with, so thank you so much for that. I met with him yesterday to talk about Algonquin. That's coming up. And I think between Chris and I, he's all set with everything he needs, but he'll let me know if he's looking for anything else. As long as those boots still fit, then we're good. But we are going to be in need of drivers. So I'm looking for drivers to St. Catharines and back. Hopefully maybe we can work out some kind of a ride share, but if anybody is interested, it would be very helpful. He needs to be in St. Catharines on Friday, February 3rd by 10:30 in the morning. So you'd have to have a passport because you got to go across the border, and he needs to be there by 10:30. And then he needs to be picked up in St. Catharines between 5:30 and 6 on Monday, the 6th. So please think about this. We really could use your help with this. I realize they're both work days. That makes it hard. Maybe we can share a little with Fredonia, which would only require a trip to Fredonia, but I can't guarantee that yet. And actually, the district did not send me these dates. They sent them to Yoa, which unfortunately wasn't super helpful. So we don't have a lot of lead time. So again, we need him to be in St. Catharines on Friday, February 3rd. By 10:30 in the morning, and he needs to be picked up in St. Catharines on Monday, February 6th at about 5:30 or 6. Please contact me or Chris directly. If you think that you could help out with that, we would really appreciate it.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thanks.
50-50, $47 to the winner, and the ticket number is last four 3633. 3633.
Hey, congratulations, Sally. There we go. Huh. The newspaper's been a bit quiet lately. But thankfully, Vicky and Mark have donated for their having to miss some meetings and come late. And Denise, even though she's been online, has sent in some cash to go on for what we have recognized her for. And Russ has donated for the good of the cause. So thank you all to start off the basket. I see a face that I have not seen in the room in a while, but I have seen on the screen. And I've been wanting to recognize her for the Lakewood Women's Club touring the Lawson Center picture in the paper as Lynn reaches for her purse. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. And that's about it with personal recognitions. Now, the glass is half empty in terms of how human nature seems to look at things, but the glass can be half full as to how some people decide to look at it. And I think Bills fans need to look at it, the glass is half full, because the Bills made it so far, farther than many, many other teams did not make it. So we need to recognize that success. And I'm sure there might be a Bills fan or two in the room who would like to do that, helping in the pot here. And while everyone's coming up, today is our annual meeting recap. An annual meeting means Rotary, and Rotary means, are you wearing your Rotary pin today? Should you not be wearing your Rotary pin today, you might wish to put an additional in. Thank you, Mike. And I think I'll stop there, Mr. President. He goes for Happy Bucks, Mark. Okay.
Actually, I think our Sergeant at Arms was on Spectrum 1 this morning, so I think we gotta find him as well.
I think I heard by rumor he was.
So Happy Bucks.
Megan and I recently took our whole family off with us to Disney for a week, so that was a lot of fun.
I'm sure you folks are aware of Kelly, the football player there. Jim Kelly, thank you so much. They have a foundation, Kelly Kids Foundation. My son is a pastor in Arcade, New York, and he put a community center, built it. It's very large, and he got a grant from Jim Kelly. Yes.
Talk about Dave Leathers? No,
Oh, Dave, well, you can miss that.
no.
Well, okay, I guess I'm supposed to put two things in. I only have $1 up here, but yeah, my boss, Dave Leathers, was elected president of the New York Association of Public Power. So anyway, and then the other thing is, our youngest daughter is pregnant, so she's gonna have a baby in July, so.
All right, I'm very sad about the Bills. I'm very happy about the UB women's basketball team, which is in first place. And I'm also happy that we have a wonderful member of our club who rescues little old ladies at the drop of a hat. I called Dewey. Dewey came within 15 minutes to repair my leaky faucet by replacing the whole damn thing. And we had all the fixings for it, but we couldn't do it. But the water was coming out at a good, fast pace. And we have a great member in somebody like that.
Probably not even certain thing.
Put it in the thing. So, but then-
One for me and for someone else that are. And I'm a Michigan fan, if you don't remember that yet. And this is in celebration of being in the top 4 in the country. And the Lions almost made the playoffs. And I'm sorry for the Bills. I've been supporting them too.
Thank you, everybody. Anybody online, Happy Bucks? Okay, I would now like to call our meeting to order for drive officer and directors elections. Secretary Goodell, please confirm quorum. Quorum is confirmed. We sent out the meeting minutes about a month ago. So Secretary Goodell, may we have the minutes from last meeting? We've sent those out. Do I have a motion that we could waive reading of the minutes?
I so move.
Second? All in favor? Who was second? Sally, thank you. The nominating committee for directors include the following members: Kevin Sigsby, Joni Blackman, Sherry Kroll, Mike Roberts, Vince Horgan, Marion Beckerink, and Ruth Lundeen. We had a meeting and email discussions regarding potential directors. These discussions and nominations were also shared with the Rotary board at the November meeting. All nominations were discussed with the nominated Rotarians.
The following are the nominations for directors of the Rotary Club of Jamestown 2023 to 24 board. Also with their term expiring here. Marion Beckering, 2024, Ruth Lundeen, 2024, Melissa Myers, 2024, Kirk Young, 2024, Chris Anderson, 2025, Irene Dobies, 2025, Michelle Jones, 2025, Paulette Klein, 2026, Max Einmiller, 2026, and Lee Magnuson, 2026. Are there any other nominations from the floor?
Nomination be closed. Ready?
If not, as a member of the nominating committee, I move the nominations be closed, seconded by Vince Oregon. And as Madam Secretary, cast a unanimous ballot to accept the nominations as read.
May I have a motion to accept the slate of nominees to serve as directors from July 1st, 2023 to July 2024? Okay. Directors for the Rotary Club of Jamestown 2023-24 board is approved. Thank you.
I move the nominations, Vince seconded.
Okay, so
You called for the vote.
well,
I asked for unanimous ballot.
we need, well, I guess we need yeah. Vince first, Kathy second, all in favor. So moved.
We'll see if we get the next one right. The following are the nominations for the officers of the Rotary Club of Jamestown 2023-24 board. President Ruth Lundeen, President-elect Marion Beckering, Vice President Kirk Young, Secretary Lisa Goodell, Club Treasurer Joni Blackman, RCJCSF Treasurer Kathy Birch, Past President John Healy, and Sergeant at Arms Doug Cumro. Are there any other nominations from the floor? If not, as a member of the nominating committee, I move that the nominations be closed and ask Madam Secretary to cast a unanimous ballot for the officers as read.
May I have a motion to accept?
Accept.
Second? Accept Joel, second, Irene. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you all those that have been elected, and thanks to the nominating committee for your efforts. President-elect and Rotary Club of Jamestown Community Chair and Service Fund Ruth Lundeen will present the RCJCSF Board of Directors.
Thank you. Thank you. Maybe.
Thank you very much. So the Rotary Club of Jamestown Community Service Fund Board and Officer nominations for 23-24 are Marion Beckering as President-elect will be Chair, Lisa Goodell, Secretary, Kathy Birch, Treasurer, Directors, Lisa Goodell, Eric Harvey, and Randy Sweeney for terms ending in 2024. Sharon Hamilton, Ruth Lundeen, and Joelle Washer for terms ending 2025. And Kathy Birch, Gail Donis, and Sherry Poole for terms ending in 2026.
May I have a motion to accept the slate of nominees to serve as officers and board members for RCJCSF 2023-2024?
So moved.
We have Kevin, second by Tori. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. RCJCSF board and officers are approved. Thank you. Treasurer Joni Blackman. We sent out the financials a little bit over a month ago. Is there any questions? I know we reviewed them at a meeting a month ago. Don't want to bore everybody with the details of finances and president's reports and all that. So any questions on finances? If there are no questions, can I have Kevin?
Not on finances, but the minutes were also sent out to last year's meeting.
Yep.
Approved those, yeah.
I think we did. Yeah,
We didn't have forms to approve them at the annual meeting though. The board accepted them.
So motion to accept the minutes and finances from that we sent out. Yeah, I think we did.
But we didn't have form to vote.
We did at the beginning of this meeting. So So we will accept the minutes again and the finances at this meeting. So can I have a motion to accept? Kevin, second, Vince. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. All right, great. Thank you. Marion, would you like to give a brief vision update?
This. Okay. It's never easy when you get old. Can't read. Okay. I don't know if you're aware that less than half of children under the age of 5 are read to every day. And the reason that's important, the American Academy of Pediatrics says reading aloud is a critical part of language development. It's never too early to read with your baby because when parents talk, read, and sing with their babies and toddlers, connections are formed in their brains at a very young age, which builds language, literacy, and social economic skills at an important time in their development. That is what Rotary is going to address. Over the next 2 years, we're hoping to equip 1,200 babies with those skills through our Books and Bibs project. We have partnered with UPMC to deliver copies of Goodnight Moon, which most of you probably read to your children at some point, as well as a bib that says, "Read to me." Where we need your help is with fundraising, and Kevin will pick up on that. We applied for a grant and didn't receive as much as we had hoped. So we feel confident that this Rotary Club will definitely help us close that gap. But you can appreciate why this is so important in our community, because what we're going to do is feed our next generation of leaders. So thank you. And that's the Vision Committee's work. Thanks.
Thank you, Marion. So now we're going to get a little bit of discussion on goals, engagement, fundraising. So I'll just start off with some updates on the goals. Each year, the Rotary president has to submit a list of goals online to the Rotary district and international that we have to respond to by the end of the year and update Rotary on how we do. So one goal was club membership over above 90. We're pretty close. We're right at about 89. So hopefully we get some new members in here that'll push us over the 90 mark. Service and participation. We'd set a goal of having 50 separate Rotarians participate in an activity. So we're pretty close to achieving that, and we should hit that by the end of the year. The new membership, sponsorships, new members. The goal is 3 to 5. We've had 1 new member so far. We have another that's in the queue. I think his 10 days actually just ran out, so we can get him into initiation. And then I know there's a couple more applications of potential members, so we should hit right about 4 or 5, depending on how many more we come in at in the course of this rest of the year. Leadership development participation, the goal was 3. And I know we have had members going to our Rotary Leadership Institute. And I think we're looking for somebody to participate in the conference, aren't we, Kevin? So that's still out there, but looks like it hit that one. Annual funds contributions. We have a goal of raising 28,000 towards the annual fund, and we should hit that. We're on our way to hitting that. Joni's shaking her head yes. Polio Plus, we exceeded our goal there thanks to the bike ride from Kevin and the other members of the club. Service projects, we have a goal of 6 to 8, and we're already there, so we'll pass that. So that's a pretty good on our way there. And interact clubs, we have a goal of participating or getting one started. Inbound and outbound, we had a goal of 1 each. RYLA participation, we had a goal of 1. So those are all looking pretty good. So that's just a quick update for the goal center that we have to submit to Rotary by the end of the year. And now I welcome past President Kevin Sigsbee to lead us on engagement and fundraising discussions.
Don't clap. Apparently, when you're past president and you don't make quorum at the next annual meeting, you have work to do. Speaking of the goals, that John just mentioned, those goals are very important. Our club typically is in line for what they call the Lighthouse Award, as well as other awards from district and international. Part of how they measure that is by the club actually achieving those goals. Last year, we missed it by, I think, one item and like half a point. So it's really important that we meet our goals. That's why I asked John to make sure we shared them with you today. Engagement. I'm here to talk about engagement because obviously we didn't have quorum at the last meeting. It's important that we do get members here every week, as many as possible. This is the place where obviously we get to fellowship. It's where we get to do the business of the club. It's where the connections are really made. It's where committees have side meetings. A lot of work may or may not be seen getting done here, but I know gets done during lunch, after the meetings, and through the relationships we build here. So I wanted to touch on a few things. Membership at meetings. You all found at your places today, and if you didn't, there's more around, grab them. There's an attendance report. The attendance report is sorted by the least amount of attendance to the largest amount of attendance. It also identifies which members are exempt from attendance. Rotary International a few years ago backed off the attendance requirements. But I think this is a good measure to say how we are doing. Because our attendance report now allows us, instead of just your regular attendance on a Monday meeting, also lets us look at, are you doing committee work? Are you doing volunteer service hours? Are you doing other things in the name of Rotary? And are you getting credit for it? Lisa is not responsible for you not having credit unless you told her and she didn't put it on there. As long as you tell her that you've been doing something for Rotary, it's not your board chair's responsibility. It's not your committee chair. It's your responsibility to say, hey, Lisa, I've missed a couple meetings, but I was at 3 committee meetings and I attended a board meeting and, oh yeah, I went to so-and-so other club's meeting. Oh, we have 5 meetings. You don't have 3 missed. It's really important you keep up on that. District looks at it. Our club looks at it. National looks at it. There's no real repercussions for not doing it, except that by not being engaged, you're not fostering friendships, doing the things that we need to do. The next thing I wanted to talk about was, I'm not even following my notes. I think our club does a good job. The people who are here today in the room and on Zoom, thank you for your attendance today. Thank you for those who are regularly here. I know that a lot of you are doing work outside of these meetings, so I wanted to start with the board of directors. If you're on the current board of directors or the incoming board of directors, please stand up. Please give them a round of applause. They meet every month. Thank you. Those of you who are on RC, and those of you who are online, raise your hands. Those of you who are on the RCJCSF Board of Directors, please stand up. This group is very important. They're the ones making sure that your foundation dollars are spent appropriately. And then I'm going to list off the club committees, but as I do, stand up if you're on the committee or you're the chair of the committee. Cam. If you're on the committee, oh, I count some other people on here too. Club service, Sharon Hamilton. Communications, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Environmental, foundation, fundraiser, golf, invocation and song, literacy, membership, program, Red Kettle, Sergeant at Arms, social, vision, vocational, and youth services. Give yourselves a round of applause. You guys are doing the work of the club. On that same note, I started passing around, started with Becky and should be working its way around, is the club committee sheet. If you are on a committee, check and make sure your name is listed. If you are listed on a committee that you no longer want to be a part of, cross your name off. If you want to add yourself to a new committee, add your name. And then we'll update. The other way you can serve the club in addition to club committees, board work, volunteering for our club is engaging with district. And I recently joined the district governance committee. It's really exciting. Getting involved in district work introduces you again to a new group within the Rotary family. A comment was made in our governance committee meeting this last week that one of the members of that committee didn't know until they were specifically invited, they can join a district committee. You don't need to be invited. The district committees are listed on the district website. All you have to do is go on there, find out who the chair is, send them an email and say, hey, I'd like to be a participant. So don't wait to be asked. If you want to see what's going on in the larger district, which is an international district, so you can make friends with Canadians and they are very friendly. It's a good way to expand your Rotary family. The last thing is on the table. I didn't print out a million of these, but I printed out a few. It's also available on My Rotary. It's Connect for Good. Get involved and make a difference. I think there's two areas of the club that while we have specific committees who are designated the time and the effort to do some of the planning and the legwork, every one of you are a member of that committee, whether you like it or not. It's membership and fundraising. It's every member's responsibility to recruit and retain members. So as you look at the list of people who are not attending, who aren't getting credit for their committee work, call them. We talked about it a couple different ways. We were going to put everybody's name tags or put name tags out for everybody and give you assigned seats. And then we were going to have those tables responsible for calling the people who were missing. We thought about putting balloons up and saying, hey, we'll stick a balloon for every person that's missing so we look like we have a full room. Fortunately, we have a full room, but we are missing people. I think everybody should take a look at that list. Pick 10 people, call them. I don't care if they get 10 different phone calls. I don't care if they get 20 phone calls. Call every member who's on the lower end of the attendance or participation list and say, how do we get you back involved? We missed you. Ruth shared with me that we sent out some cards around Christmas to some individuals and said, we haven't seen you in a while. And one of them showed up to a committee meeting and then showed up to a meeting. That's all it takes. It's outreach from ourselves, our friends, to say, come back. And the sheet that I left there, look at that over. That might give you some ideas of ways you can entice them to come back, ways to get them back involved. And for those of you on Zoom, I'm going to email all this stuff out to you later as well. And then the final thing is fundraising. You have in front of you the fundraising committee report. And again, I apologize for those of you on Zoom. You will get this in an email so that everybody gets it as well. But fundraising is a responsibility of the entire club. It's not fun. It's not easy, but sometimes it is fun. And sometimes it is easy. Last year we did a fundraiser. It was a 50 or cash raffle. We put out 500 tickets. We set some dollar amounts. We raised over $5,000 without even selling all the tickets. So I'm proposing that unless there's objection for the Books and Bibs project, we do that again this spring so that we can meet the $3,500 shortfall in that project. Maybe even fund it for a third year. Okay. I'm not going to go over every one of these, but the general overview, in October, we had a meeting and you can see who attended. We had an open discussion and said, what kind of fundraising opportunities do we have? What have we done in the past? What worked, what didn't work, what might work in the future? And at this point, we need your input. Okay, so I want everybody to take a look at this. I'm going to send this out again on an email today. But in the next couple of weeks, look through it. Tell us what projects can you stand behind? What can you dedicate time to? What can you dedicate energy to? We know not everybody wants to go and sell a ticket, okay? But could you advertise an event? Could you support, would you like us to buy a car, drive it around town for a year, and then raffle it off? What ideas do you have? What did we miss? Because you are a larger body than the dozen or so of us that did this. If not, I promise you we'll bring back the auction. I'm kidding.
unless you want the auction. I know that fundraising won't work unless you, the members, are behind the project, and I know fundraising won't work unless we get the community involved. I think that, we do a lot in our club to dig into our own pockets, to dig into our families' pockets, to support the club, to support our missions. But how do we make our mission resonate also with the greater community? How do we get them to the events? Because, $1 out of everybody in the city of Jamestown's a lot more money than $10 out of each of our pockets. Or $100 out of each of our pockets. Attached to the back of that is the Community Service Fund report. We haven't had a major fundraiser since before the pandemic, other than the golf tournament. So if we want to continue funding the projects we've done in the past, if we want to be able to do another sign project, we've got to fundraise. And so I'm looking for your support, and the club's looking for your support, and I'll take any of your advice. John, that's all I have.
Sure, I'll take questions.
Questions, comments?
Silence.
And I know Ruth and Mary and Kirk are all working on a survey that we should have out in the next couple of weeks or months, and just to get some more input and feedback from the club. So I want to thank Kevin. Thank you for leading that discussion. I want to thank everybody for being here, for your service and efforts you make on behalf of the club, for everybody online to be here to vote. It's a great relief to have that passed and done with, and we can have our officers and directors for next year. So may I have a motion to adjourn? Oh, we have a question? We have a thought.
Been a very moving meeting and a very important meeting that you've had today. And because of you, it is heard outside these walls. And that's very, very important. Everyone in this room is not a weekly Rotarian, not a monthly Rotarian. It's a 24/7 every day Rotarian. And because of that, we live in a better place. We live in a better world. And everybody realizing that we are all God's children, and we're all brothers and sisters. In fact, I'm so very, very proud that I was born to two of God's children. And it's very, very important that the Rotary Club realizes that we are a team and we are a family. And this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful set at the table with any of you. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Couldn't say any better. Thank you. With that, may I have a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Vince. Second. We are adjourned. Thank you.